In the next 30 years, the development prospects of China's agriculture are mainly reflected in the five major trends, including agricultural industrialization, agricultural product processing, huge opportunities in the food industry, policy dividends, capitalization opportunities, and deep processing dividends. Mining and making good use of these five gold mines will grasp the future of agriculture. As early as the end of the 20th century, the famous scientist Jian Suisun once said in his suggestions on my country's agricultural development, on the basis of China's small-scale peasant economy, it is impossible to spontaneously move towards agricultural industrialization. The fundamental driving force of China's agricultural modernization lies in technological innovation and industrialization process and the modernization process of China as a whole. Times have changed, and today's agriculture has stepped into the process of modernization. Looking forward to the prospects of agriculture, countless people predict that agriculture will be a blue ocean of 10 trillion yuan. So, where are the opportunities for agriculture focused? 1. Industrialization helps agriculture achieve triple jump. If agriculture is not industrialized, everything is in vain. In fact, agricultural industrialization can be completed through a triple jump. 1. Change the way of production. After the industrialization of agriculture, agricultural production methods and management methods will be forced to change, which will bring huge strategic opportunities. Agriculture will design products according to the market, formulate markets according to user needs, and will carry out changes in the standardization of production and modernization of operations. 2. Increase marketing channels for agricultural products. There is only one path for current agricultural products, from field to table. Although agriculture plus internet helps the market to cut out the middlemen, it helps agricultural products to interact with citizens. However, the channel is still single. After consumption upgrades, consumers have higher expectations for agricultural products, including taste, packaging, brands, etc. Therefore, these things can be done and realized by the processing industry. 3. Agricultural products completely transformed. After the industrialization of agricultural products have become new products such as food, handicrafts, and gifts. At the same time, industrialization will give agricultural products imagination space and market opportunities. Therefore, the key task of agricultural operators is not only to produce high-quality agricultural products, but also to satisfy consumers' imagination of agricultural products and revolutionize agricultural products. 2. The food industry has great potential. As an important part of large-scale agriculture or agricultural deep processing, the four major food industries have great potential. 1. Snack foods. According to the 2016 to 2020 Snack Food Industry Development Opportunity Report reported by the China Business Industry Research Institute, in 2015, the total sales of China's snack food market was 522.5 billion yuan, and the compound annual growth rate from 2011 to 2015 was 9.3%. In 2015, the total sales of candies accounted for the largest share of 24.5% in China's snack food market, pastries ranked second with 17.2%, and nuts ranked third with 13.5%. With the development of China's economy, the market demand for snack food will continue to grow, and the compound annual growth rate in 2016 to 2017 is predicted to be 10.3%. In 2017, the market size of leisure food will reach 634.2 billion yuan. 2. Healthy nutritious food. With consumption upgrading, consumers pay more and more attention to healthy food. At present, China's healthy and nutritious food market is about 80 billion yuan. 3 years later, this figure may exceed 180 billion yuan. At the same time, China's healthy and nutritious food market has huge potential, and food companies urgently need to make efforts in healthy and nutritious food. 3. Imported food. According to the forecast of the American Food Industry Association, the sales of imported food in China will grow at a rate of 15% per year. By 2018, China will become the largest consumer of imported food in the world. At that time, the size of the imported food market in mainland China will reach 480 billion yuan. Drive a wave of investment in the imported food industry. 4. Organic food. It is predicted that in 2025, the global organic food and beverage market is expected to reach $320.5 billion US dollars, much higher than the $77.4 billion US dollars in 2015, and the revenue of my country's organic fruit and vegetable market is expected to exceed $110 billion US dollars, which will lead the world's organic food market. 03. Scale up of agricultural product processing. In December 2016, the General Office of the State Council issued the Opinions on Further Promoting the Development of Agricultural Products Processing Industry, Opinions, making a comprehensive deployment for the development of my country's agricultural products processing industry in the next period. The opinions propose to strengthen financial support and support qualified processing enterprises to apply for relevant agricultural support funds and projects. Improve taxation policies, expand the scope of pilot industries for the verification and deduction of input tax of value-added tax on agricultural products, and implement preferential income tax policies for primary processing of agricultural products. The accelerated implementation of the opinions at the national level is based on the following two aspects. 01. The income of agricultural product processing enterprises above designated size has reached 20 trillion yuan. My country's agricultural product processing industry has made great progress. By 2016, the main business income of agricultural product processing enterprises above designated size will reach 20.1 trillion yuan, accounting for 19.6% of the manufacturing industry. It is a basic industry that has a strong role in driving farmers' employment and increasing their income. From the perspective of weight analysis, the goal of 68% conversion rate of agricultural product processing in 2020 and 75% in 2025 fully takes into account factors such as policy promotion, market pull, technology drive and rural industrial integration in the development of agricultural product processing industry. The opinions propose a series of policy measures to address these issues. In terms of financial support and tax policies, it is required that relevant agricultural support funds and comprehensive agricultural development funds should support agricultural product processing projects, and all localities should support the construction of public facilities for the agricultural product processing industry. Expand the scope of pilot industries for the verification and deduction of input tax of value-added tax on agricultural products, adjust and improve and clarify the scope of preferential treatment for primary processing. 02. In 2020, the output value of the agricultural product processing industry will be twice that of the agricultural output value. The opinions propose that by 2020, the ratio of the agricultural product processing industry to the total agricultural output value will reach 2.4:1, and the conversion rate of agricultural product processing will reach 68%. By 2025, the conversion rate of agricultural product processing will further increase, reaching 75%. That is to say, by 2020, the output value of the agricultural product processing industry will be twice the agricultural output value. As my country's urban and rural residents' consumption upgrades have a strong demand for processed products, it is estimated that the agricultural product processing industry will maintain an average annual growth rate of no less than 6.5% in the next 5 years. If calculated according to the average annual growth rate of agricultural output value of 4% in the next 5 years, the ratio of agricultural product processing industry to agricultural output value is expected to reach 2.4:1 by 2020. At the same time, we must also see that the comprehensive processing and transformation of major agricultural products will be released rapidly in the process of agricultural modernization and rural urbanization. It is estimated that by 2020, the processing and transformation rates of grain, vegetables, fruits, and meat will increase to 88% and 13% respectively. 23% and 17%, and increase to 90%, 30%, 35%, and 45% by 2025. 04. Policy dividends become a key breakthrough point. In recent years, whether it is the #1 central document or the publication and introduction of the opinions, it reflects the country's emphasis on the three rural issues. Agricultural enterprises and agricultural product processing industries have become the beneficiaries of dividends. According to incomplete statistics, up to now, there are 45 listed agricultural companies in my country. Among them, 17 listed companies are agricultural product processing enterprises, and agricultural product processing enterprises account for 37.78%. 01. Financial policy support helps agricultural product processing enterprises get out of financing difficulties. In the view of Chen Zhu, A researcher at Zhongguan Puhua, the government's financing policy to support agricultural product processing enterprises mainly starts from strengthening financial services, increasing credit support, expanding the scale of guarantee business, and innovating the credit plus insurance industrial chain finance. At the same time, it is also reflected in improving investment and trade conditions and supporting social capital in the fields of agricultural product processing and circulation. According to the famous economist Song Qinghui, the number one central document and the opinions are of great significance in supporting agricultural product processing enterprises to go public for financing. Song Qinghui said, the implementation of these policies is not only conducive to accelerating the listing and financing of agricultural product processing enterprises, but also an important symbol of modern agriculture. 02. The government has become the main driver of agricultural product processing. In the implementation opinions on further promoting the development of agricultural products processing industry issued by the Shaanxi provincial government on June 29, 2017, it is clearly stated that by 2025, the conversion rate of agricultural products processing will reach 70%, and support the development of primary processing of agricultural products, vigorously develop functional food and health food, accelerate the development of the staple food processing industry, develop the comprehensive utilization of byproducts of agricultural product processing, promote the deep integration of the agricultural product processing industry with other industries, and promote the development of clusters. This opinion is another important document specially formulated by Shaanxi province at the provincial level after 8 years for the development of the agricultural product processing industry, which is of milestone significance. At the same time, since 2016, Changchun City has continued to increase policy support for key leading enterprises, established a long-term service mechanism, and provided key support to enterprises in terms of equipment renewal, independent research and development, loan guarantees, and brand creation, and has continued to grow agricultural industrialization leading enterprise group, expand the number and scale of national, provincial, and municipal leading enterprises, and accelerate the formation of advantageous industrial clusters. The agricultural product processing industry in Changchun, Jilin has achieved an output value of 208 billion yuan, and has established a processing system for agricultural products such as corn, rice, soybeans, live pigs, beef cattle, broiler chickens, meat geese, meat rabbits, and deer. In 2017, the output value of Changchun's agricultural product processing industry is planned to reach 225 billion yuan, with a growth rate of more than 8%. This shows that Changchun is making great strides towards becoming a world-class agricultural product processing base, and the agricultural product processing industry has become the second pillar industry in Changchun after the automobile industry. 05. Deep processing bonus that cannot be ignored. 01. From shallow processing to deep processing. Statistics show that as of December 2016, there were 81,000 agricultural product processing enterprises above designated size in China, with main business income reaching 20 trillion yuan and a total profit of 1.3 trillion yuan. But there is one point: the primary processing of agricultural products has been difficult to leverage market demand. This means that the deep processing of agricultural products will usher in spring. The opinions of the State Council also aimed at these problems, encouraging the development of primary processing that does not change the inherent quality of agricultural products, the development of intensive processing of secondary processing, the development of staple food processing, and the development of comprehensive utilization processing. 02. Dig deep into rural logistics. Processing, logistics and transportation are inseparable. Agricultural product processing is internal strength, and logistics is the external strength of agricultural products. The tens of billions and hundreds of billions of agricultural product processing markets need to be driven by logistics. At the same time, rural logistics includes the construction of transportation, talents, cold chains, warehouses, etc. These industries all hide huge wealth. 03. Reinvent the Internet. The Internet is a good booster for agricultural product processing. Agricultural product processing needs to rely on internet-efficient channels to subvert traditional marketing channels. The Internet has three major applications in the agricultural product processing industry. 1. Traceability system. The agricultural product traceability system built with the help of the Internet to improve the safety of agricultural products. Win the initiative in terms of cost. 3. In terms of channels. E-commerce, micro-commerce, and new retail are all new marketing channels for agricultural products with the help of the internet. In recent years, all parts of Jiangxi have developed the rice and shrimp co-production industry, realizing a win-win situation of double harvest in one field, ecological and environmental protection. Crayfish feed on aquatic plants in the shrimp bring ditch and weeds in rice fields, and their manure fertilizes the field. After the rice is harvested, the straw is returned to the field and becomes high-quality bait for crayfish. Some places also rely on crayfish to go fishing, sightseeing, and experience development, promote the integration of agriculture and tourism, realize one shrimp eats more, and make crayfish a big industry that promotes strong villages, rich people, and rural revitalization. Recently, shrimp farmers are harvesting crayfish at the rice and shrimp breeding base of Jiangxi Rundong Ecological Agriculture Co., Limited in Xingxiang, Yangtze County. Photo by Song Jianming. Crayfish hold up. Big industry that enriches the people. During the May 1st holiday, I drove into Sanjiao Township, Yangtze County, and passed the Changzhou Expressway. I saw the 10,000 mu rice and shrimp co-production base on both sides of the road. Meow, the scene is busy. The crayfish in the base are already on the market. Recently, there is a great demand in various places. The biggest worry now is that there is no stock, and the supply often exceeds the demand. Zhou Xian, General Manager of Jiangxi Shrimp Valley Agricultural Technology Co., Limited, told reporters. Last year, driven by Jiangxi Shrimp Valley Agricultural Technology Co., Limited, the area of rice and shrimp farming in Sanjiao Township reached 22,000 mu. This year, the area of rice and shrimp farming in Sanjiao Township exceeded 42,000 mu. Sanjiao Township has also become a well-known crayfish farming area. Daxiang. The development of the rice and shrimp industry has made rice fields suitable for crayfish farming a scarce resource, and the cost of land transfer has also risen. Tu Yunzu, secretary of the Sanjiao Township Party Committee, made the calculations for the reporter. Through land transfers, the farmer's land rent has increased from 400 yuan/mu to 700 yuan/mu. Through rice and shrimp co-production, the income per mu of land can increase by nearly 3,000 yuan. In order to do a good job in the rice and shrimp industry, Sanjiao Township self-raised more than 4.6 million yuan to help farmers solve problems such as water supply, electricity, and access, so that every field in the township can achieve the best breeding conditions. Tu Yunzu said. In 2022, through the vigorous development of rice and shrimp farming, the collective income of each village in Sanjiao Township will exceed 150,000 yuan, and the two highest villages will reach 500,000 yuan, allowing crayfish to support a big industry that enriches the people. Represented by Sanjiao Township, in order to support rice and shrimp farming, Yangtze County has issued a special plan to support the development of the rice and shrimp industry, rapidly promoting the development of rice and shrimp farming, and the area of rice and shrimp farming in the county has grown exponentially. Up to now, the county has 2 contiguous rice and shrimp breeding bases of more than 10,000 mu and more than 10 rice and shrimp breeding bases of more than 1,000 mu. The total area of rice and shrimp farming in the county has reached 200,000 mu. In 2023, the annual output of crayfish is expected to reach more than 30,000 tons, and the comprehensive output value has reached 1.5 billion yuan. Recently, at the rice and shrimp co-production base in Yuanji Village, Liqiao Town, Jishui County, the villagers are busy in the rice and shrimp fields. Xiedongshi. Lobster Industry Road. Drive the prosperity of the whole people. On the morning of April 29th, Damei Jishui Qingshui Lobster Tasting Meeting held a long-table lobster feast for thousands of people in Jishui County. Behind the lobster feast, it is inseparable from the support of the county to vigorously develop rice and shrimp co-production. Jishui County belongs to the central Jiangxi region, with long periods of high temperature. The climate and geographical conditions are very suitable for crayfish farming. Now crayfish are not worrying about selling, as long as they are raised, they can be sold. Jin Hui said. Jin Hui was originally a professor at the Fisheries College of Huazhong Agricultural University. After teaching for more than 30 years, Jin Hui resigned from Huazhong Agricultural University in 2019 and came to the 10,000 mu rice and fishery industrial park in Pangu Town, Jishui County to devote himself to crayfish farming. In Jin Hui's view, apart from the need for good weather and water, rice and shrimp co-production is also a technical task. How long to dry the fields, the water level of the water, when to harvest materials, how much to harvest, etc. are all very particular, Jin Hui said. In recent years, in addition to managing his own breeding base well, Jin Hui has also unreservedly passed on farming techniques to people around him, driving everyone to get rich together, and Du Yubing is one of the beneficiaries. After 3 or 4 years of losses, this year I finally turned losses into profits. My 614-acre rice and shrimp co-production base, the current income of shrimp seedlings and adult shrimps has reached more than 2 million yuan. Recently, Du Yubing was cheerful when he was interviewed by reporters. Say. Du Yubing is from Xinyu, Jiangxi province. He came to Jishui County in 2019 to rent land to raise shrimps. The climate in Jishui is very suitable for raising crayfish. In the past few years, due to lack of technology, it has been losing money. It was not until this year, thanks to the guidance of Professor Jin Hui, that it turned losses into profits. Du Yubing said. The experience of Jin Hui and Du Yubing is a microcosm of the development of rice and shrimp co-cropping industry in Jishui County. In recent years, Jishui County has increased financial support, promoted the development of rice and shrimp co-production, and created a whole industrial chain including improved breeding, standardized rice and shrimp comprehensive breeding, and trading markets, leading the healthy and orderly development of the industry. At present, 10 rice and shrimp co-production enterprises, cooperatives, in the county have signed shareholding agreements with 58 villages and 1,615 farmers. RMB 10,000 and land rental income of RMB 12 million. In Xiaofushan village, Fenjiang town, Jishui County, farmers are setting up cages to harvest crayfish. Xiedongxi. Let the countryside have a view. Farmers make money. Represented by Yangzhou County and Jishui County, rice and shrimp co-cropping has blossomed everywhere in Jiangxi in recent years. Relying on abundant water resources, Pengs County has focused on adjusting the layout, building chains, and cultivating brands, and the crayfish industry has developed rapidly. The total area of rice and shrimp in the county has exceeded 150,000 mu, and it has won the title of top 10 counties in China's crayfish industry and typical county of the national crayfish industry chain. Driven by the demonstration of the rice-shrimp co-cropping base, Xinghuo County promotes the integrated rice fishing planting and breeding technology in the whole county, and guides the majority of farmers to develop the rice-shrimp co-cropping planting and breeding model in accordance with the company plus professional cooperative plus farmer operation mode. Take rice and shrimp farming as a first move for rural revitalization and industrial prosperity. Relying on the unique local natural conditions, Huichang County introduced enterprises to develop the shrimp and rice co-cropping ecological planting and breeding base, turning 500 mu of low-yield and low-lying land into a cornucopia that drives villagers to increase their income and become rich, bringing new opportunities for local rural revitalization. Development opportunities. Some places also rely on rice and shrimp co-production to develop rural tourism, realizing the goals of agricultural parks as scenic spots, and integration of agriculture and tourism, and relying on festivals to achieve the integration of primary and tertiary industries. Tongtian Township, Fengcheng City transformed the low-yield fields into high-standard farmland, and developed the comprehensive cultivation of shrimp and rice co-culture, which not only improved the utilization rate of land, but also provided support for the local development of rural tourism, allowing rural there are sights to see, and farmers have jobs to earn money. At present, compared with other provinces, Jiangxi has less crayfish in terms of area and output. On the other hand, there is still a lot of room for crayfish farming, and there is still a lot of room for development in rice and shrimp co-production. As long as the technology of popularization is in place, crayfish will definitely have a bright future. Jin Hui said. As we all know, the anti-Japanese war of the Chinese people in modern times was the greatest patriotic war in the history of the Chinese nation, a just war against Japanese imperialist aggression, an important part of the world anti-fascist war, and the first time that China has fought against foreign invasion since modern times. Completely victorious war of national liberation. In this epic war of patriotism, the Chinese nation fought against the Japanese aggression with the same hatred. From the generals to the common people, many anti-Japanese heroes who defended their homes and the country emerged. During the Japanese invasion of China, they were not afraid of life and death, killed the enemy to avenge their shame, fought all kinds of bloody battles, spilled blood on the battlefield, bravely participated in major frontal battles, and moved to the north and south of the river. Worshipped by posterity. However, among these generals, big and small, there is a controversial figure. Some people praise him as a famous anti-Japanese general, and some despise him as a runaway general, but more people think that this person is a famous lusty general. And he is Sun Yuanliang, who once served as the commander of the 22nd Army. Sun Yuanliang was originally from Shaoxing, Zhejiang. He was born in Huiyang County, Chengdu, Sichuan in 1904. His father, Sun Tingrong, was 67 years old when he was born. Sun Yuanliang also lived up to his father's high expectations. He was extremely diligent in his studies, coupled with his talent and intelligence. He was admitted to the National Law and Political University at the age of 19. But in that troubled time, Sun Yuanliang was not satisfied with ordinary university life. In 1924, under the recommendation of Li Dazhao, Sun Yuanliang entered the first phase of Whampoa Military Academy, and since then he began his little-known military career. As an officer in the first phase of Whampoa, Sun Yuanliang also took the lead many times, leading death squads to charge, and even minor injuries could not leave the line of fire. Because of his bravery in combat, he was quickly appreciated by his superiors. On the eve of the Northern Expedition, at the age of 23, he had been promoted to the head of the 1st Regiment of the 1st Division of the National Revolutionary Army. But the next development was surprising. During the Northern Expedition, Sun Yuanliang encountered Waterloo for the first time. Due to the carelessness of the 1st Division, he was defeated in Sun Xuanfang's counterattack against Nanchang. Sun Yuanliang escaped and was shown on the battlefield for the first time. There are skills to wait for an opportunity to escape. Afterwards, he was almost shot for dereliction of duty. In 1937, after the outbreak of the Songhu anti-Japanese war, people all over the country were full of enthusiasm and supported the anti-Japanese war with their own practical actions. Under such circumstances, Yuanliang learned the previous lessons and led his troops to fight bloody battles against the Japanese army. For example, when he was the commander of the 88th Division, he led his troops to withstand the Japanese attack on the front line of the temple. Then he led his troops to defend the Zebei position for 76 days, covering the retreat of the army. During this period, Sun Yuanliang entrusted the task of guarding the last position in Zebei to the 1st Battalion of the 524th Regiment of the headquarters. Only then did the deputy of the regiment, Xie Jinyuan, invite Ying to lead 800 strong men, actually a reinforced battalion of 450 people, known as 800 strong men to the outside world, to defend the astonishing feat of Xinkuang won the support of world public opinion for China's resistance against Japan. However, what is criticized is that although Sun Yuanliang achieved good records on the battlefield, he also showed a greedy and lustful nature during the War of Resistance. According to the records, when the Battle of Songhu was in full swing, Sun Yuanliang, facing the pretty girl who was comforting the female students, turned out to be very lustful. A girl he tricked with rhetoric was playing alone in the division, and he tried to take possession of the girl. Later, Sun Yuanliang's misdemeanor was discovered by Feng Shenfa, the deputy commander of the division, and Sun Yuanliang was afraid that the scandal would be publicized. Afterwards, Sun Yuanliang, who was not reconciled, actually said, "Heroes are always associated with beauties. Since ancient times, heroes have liked beauties, especially since we have made great achievements in the battle in Shanghai. It is nothing to do such a small thing." Obviously, Sun Yuanliang, who regarded himself as a hero, was not a real hero. Later, when he evacuated from the Shanghai battlefield, he ignored the evacuation order and led his subordinates to spend a whole night walking half a circle along the concession, looking for abandoned items. Finally, when passing through the British concession, he saw people from the Japanese Toyota spinning mill leaving thousands of bales of Japanese cotton yarn in an empty building. Sun Yuanliang dispatched dozens of trucks and small steamers overnight to rush all of them to Suxikang for sale. Make a war fortune. After withdrawing from Shanghai, Sun Yuanliang's 88th Division took part in the defense of Nanjing. When he first arrived in Nanjing, Sun Yuanliang squandered his war money. He spent his whole day in the Confucius Temple, listening to plays and prostitutes, and seldom made preparations for attacking the enemy in the division headquarters. As a result, the 88th Division quickly threw itself into the defense of Nanjing without taking a break. In just 2 or 3 days, the outer positions were lost. When the city gate was broken, Sun Yuanliang, the commander-in-chief, reappeared as a flying general and fled alone without notifying the troops. During this period, he used gold bars to buy the old bastard and hid in a brothel in Nanjing, only to save himself from death. It can be said that the general was incompetent and exhausted the three armies. Many officers and soldiers of the 88th Division without a leader were unable to cross the Yangtze River during the retreat. They were captured by the Japanese army in Nanjing and became the ghosts of the Japanese army. It's a pity that an elite German Tiger card was ruined like this. In the winter of 1946, Sun Yuanliang was transferred to the post of Chongqing Garrison Commander. While in office, he still loved dancing and often went to ballrooms with high-class prostitutes. In 1948, during the Battle of Weihai, Sun Yuanliang, Du Yuming, and others were surrounded by our army together, but unlike Du Yuming and Xiu Qingquan, Sun Yuanliang once again displayed his long-legged general skills and ran to Nanjing in one breath. Even Liu Ji, known as the long-legged general, felt ashamed of himself, and he had to say that this was a satire on Sun Yuanliang. At the end of 1949, Sun Yuanliang fled the mainland. Bearing the responsibility of being defeated and losing his teacher, coupled with the pressure of public opinion, Sun Yuanliang was depressed and finally chose to retire and go into business. In the early 1970s, Sun Yuanliang once lived in Japan and opened a noodle restaurant called Tianhui Yuan. In his later years, Sun Yuanliang seldom mentioned the ups and downs of the year, and focused on health preservation with peace of mind. He did not die of illness until 2007 at the age of 103. As a famous lecherous general in modern history, Sun Yuanliang has been questioned, and his reputation is uncertain throughout his life. But he gave birth to a very famous son, Sun Xiangzhong. Sun Xiangzhong is a famous film and television star and his stage name is Qin Han. In 1977, Qin Han won the Best Actor at the Panama Film Festival for Smoke and Water Cold, and the most popular male star at the 22nd Asian Film Festival. Later, he, Qin Xianglin, Lin Fengjiao and Brigitte Lin were collectively called two Qin Erlings. He performed hundreds of movies and nearly 30 TV dramas, becoming a well-known star in China. In June 2015, Qin Han was invited by Phoenix Satellite TV's We Walk Together column revisiting the Battlefield series to retrace his father's road of resistance against Japan, restore historical facts in the form of walking, and pay tribute to the period of Chinese nation's struggle to defend their homeland. A tribute to the history of struggle. However, according to Sun Yuanliang's recollection during his lifetime, even to his own children, he rarely talked about the wars he participated in the past. Obviously, Sun Yuanliang was unwilling to mention his courage in his later years. Compared with his previous achievements on the battlefield, running away several times is also a stain in his life.